When a new nun horror movie comes out, I am all over that because I love nuns, and I was already talking about how excited I was to see Immaculate starring Sydney Sweeney. This is the latest film from Neon, and Neon actually reached out to me and let me see an early screening of this, and I was very much into it. Immaculate had a lot of components that I really love in this type of movie, especially body horror. I feel like for a religious horror film, you really want to see things get a little gross and get a little nasty, and they definitely do in this one. Also, scary relics. I love when a religious horror film has some scary Catholic relic. I also love when they have creepy old ladies. I think this is going to become one of the new female rage, unhinged woman, crazy lady horror films, because Immaculate actually is not a supernatural horror film. The depravity and the terror lies within some very real world things like the Catholic Church and the control that it exerts over women's bodies, and then just the inherent horror of pregnancy. All of the bodily changes you go through is body horror in of itself. Stylistically, I would say Immaculate follows along with a lot of other nun movies where the horror of it is very quiet, it's very unassuming, and then at certain points it becomes very crazy, very intense, very brutal, and very climactic. Immaculate takes place in present day, which it took me a while to figure it out, but there was an iPhone in there, so I got my confirmation. Sydney Sweeney plays Cecilia, an American novice nun who has joined a beautiful convent in Italy after her parish closed, and she's gonna take her vows there and become a full-fledged nun. A really interesting problem for Cecilia in this movie is that she actually doesn't know Italian, and that adds to the stress of the film when crazy shit starts happening and she doesn't know what anybody is saying. Cecilia is immediately very much taken and in love with the convent and her new home. The movie is shot beautifully. Another thing I love to see in a religious horror film is just some beautiful statues, candles, beautiful churches, and the church in this movie is gorgeous. This all seems very lovely and picture perfect, but if you couldn't tell from the title, Cecilia wakes up one day and it seems she is experiencing Virgin Mary 2.0, an immaculate conception, and though she is a believer in God, it's modern day. It doesn't sound like the kind of thing God would do again. Would he put a baby in someone else a second time in the age of the iPhone? So Cecilia's picture perfect new life as she has taken her vows as a nun slowly starts to crumble before her, and everything is not what it seems. Besides all of the beautiful imagery and the scary imagery, like these nuns in red cloth masks, which I'm super into, this was such a tense movie. Immaculate also has a crazy climactic ending. I really wasn't sure where they were gonna take it. I had some ideas, I had some hopes, I had some dreams, and they took it to a fucked up place. The ending of Immaculate is crazy and intense and a little bit twisted. You guys also know I love Virgin Mary imagery, and there was no shortage of that in Immaculate, but especially there was one beautiful, awesome scene where Sydney Sweeney as Cecilia is dressed up as the Virgin Mary, being praised and worshipped by everyone in the convent because they think that she has the new savior of the world in her belly. Starting today, the 13th, tickets are available to see early screenings of Immaculate, or you can catch it when it actually comes out on March 22nd.